Hi, it's your 21st century pharmacist. My name is Delenn, back again. Um, this topic is Alzheimer's, how to prevent it and how to cure it. It couldn't be any easier. Let me tell you, I don't know why so many people still end up having Alzheimer's. It's not hard to find this information. It's all over YouTube. There's been research done. I don't know why these doctors can't figure this out. They use drugs that don't work. They work for a little while and then you get Alzheimer's. So let's talk about prevention first. Here are things that prevent Alzheimer's. Now you'll see me looking down. I have to write things down just to make sure that I get everything right. I'll not get it right, but that I don't forget it. Otherwise, camera will come on, I'll go totally blank, and that's what you'll get. So things I know, by heart, almost I get in front of an audience and it all goes blank. So here we go. We'll start with honey. Honey prevents Alzheimer's disease. Have a spoonful of it every day, tablespoonful. You can mix it with something. Um, Mix it with coconut oil, and you probably lose weight. Uh, just I eat it straight. It took me a little while to get used to it because it's so rich. It makes you really thirsty. But yeah, I eat a tablespoon and have a little sip of water to uh, dilute all that sugar, all that honeyed, sugared taste. But I enjoy it. Um, Straight. Enjoy it straight. Next thing is curcumin. It's what's in curry. It's, well, turmeric comes from curcumin, or curcumin comes from turmeric, one or the other. I don't know, but buy curcumin. And make sure you buy an enhanced absorption curcumin because it well, I'm talking about buying it in capsules. But anyway, the enhanced curcumin will be absorbed a lot better. Not only does it prevent Alzheimer's, as people have figured out, because nobody in India has Alzheimer's. Has hardly anybody. They have one of the lowest rates in the world. When I'm talking about curcumin capsules, probably any kind of supplement you can get. If you know a place where you can get all these unusual supplements, go ahead. I always use Amazon. Got an account there. Prices are pretty good. Um, People rate brands too, so uh, sometimes they don't rate a brand very well, and they'll say, "Wow, this brand stinks. I'm going back to using my Now brand." Um, but I'm gonna have to do a video on how to figure out a good supplement, how to know if it's a good supplement, and believe me, there's several ways you can tell. Some of them are really pathetic, and you can just see it. Um, but look at the ratings too. If you're about to buy a brand because you think it looks good, it's only got 1 star. There's something wrong with it. If there's more than 10 people rating it. So anyway, that prevents Alzheimer's. Reading prevents Alzheimer's. Studying, reading things. Not bodice rippers. The the novels with the guy with the big pectorals and huge arms with his shirt off, with a girl in a fluffy dress hugging him. That's not the kind of book that's or the fantasy book with the nearly naked woman on the cover. Those aren't going to get you anywhere. What you need is material that's educational. Things, you study. You don't just read, you study things. Politics works too. Uh, even, excuse me, even television. If you're watching uh, like political reporting on TV, whatever your affiliation is, um, that makes you think. Things that you study, doing puzzles, things that you do that study and think. It stimulates new brain cells, and your brain actually gets heavier. It's a lot more dense than the brain of the guy that just watches, King of the Hill reruns all day long, or girl that does that. I don't know. Do any girls watch that? Anyway, by the way, I'm not here to be a super professional. I'm just here to be me, and I'm not a professional video maker, but I am a professional pharmacist. I'm a retired pharmacist, but actually, it's not even pharmacy that I'm doing now. It's nutritional and supplement advice that is very handy. And these things are in the arena of the pharmacist or people that have no degree whatsoever. So I'm not practicing medicine. Okay, a good diet is good for preventing Alzheimer's. High fat, medium protein, and low carb diet. And if you want to figure out a low carb diet, a diet with very few carbs. Get yourself a here's the COVID memory slam hitting me again. Use a glucose index booklet. Get a little booklet or print a glucose index thing off a page off the internet or something, but or you can look up each food one by one on the internet. Just look up glucose index and the food, and it'll tell you in most cases what the glucose index is. So you want to eat low glucose index foods, and if you do that, you'll lose weight. It'll just peel off of you. You'd be amazed. So, and it excludes bread, grains. They say eat whole grains. Well, whole grains are like the worst thing you can eat. They're way up there on the glucose index list. They're like, 90, 80. Low numbers below 50, I believe. Like 50 to 70 is moderate. 70 and above is high. It's just a guess. I can't remember. But I shoot for things way low. And believe me, it just tears the weight off of me. And it's come to the point where I recognize that if I just avoid bread, grains, and sugar, I'm going to lose weight. I'll lose weight every day until I get really skinny, I guess. And the other thing is fasting. Fasting is a miracle, an absolute miracle. One thing it does after about 18 hours, when you fast, you should fast for 24 hours. You can do it with or without water. Without water, it helps your cells all get faster and better at what they do, because your cells will rebuild their insides after they get shattered, because the cell membrane shrinks a little after you've fasted for a while, and it shatters that membrane of tubules that all the chemicals in your cells zip through. Excuse me. Or at least they zip through until they're old and broken down. So you regenerate those by fasting. Um, but it's not really necessary. Most of the good stuff comes from fasting with water if you want to. And I'll tell you what it does. It sends out these little cells that come and attach themselves to everything in your body and that's dead or useless or dying, and also foreign objects like leftover COVID cells, which everybody has that's had COVID, and fragments. They're still in you for a long, long time. So fasting will destroy all of those as well as all the dead cells in your body, um, things that are dead and should be removed. And then it takes those raw materials and builds new ones. But for Alzheimer's, it does something really amazing. It takes the stem cells in your brain and turns those into new brain cells, new neurons. So if your old brain cells are covered in goop and not working, making new brain cells works. I gave my mother a supplement that builds nerves in the central nervous system, and within well, she only could tell 4 stories to you every time you sat down with her. You got real tired of the same 4 stories, but she's your mother, you know. What are you gonna do? You sit there and put up with it, you know, try to keep her company and stuff. But after I started giving her that supplement, within a week, she was regaling me with stories of my childhood and with her childhood. She started telling me stories from her childhood when she was a little girl. It's like, in a week. And let's see, yeah, I'll talk about that in the next section on how to treat Alzheimer's. Let's see, fasting, something just occurred to me. Oh, the plaques that cover the cells in your brain that cause Alzheimer's. A plaque is, like it's like being surrounded by garbage. it's like plaque on your teeth. Although they're different kind of plaques, but you can't just brush them off. But they have a lot of magnesium in them. So one thing you want to do to prevent Alzheimer's is stop using antiperspirants. I use Native. It's a deodorant. Has a strong, pleasant smell. There's floral smells, baby powder smell, spice smells. There's citrus smells. There's cranberry. There's pine. There's all kinds of stuff, and doesn't contribute to Alzheimer's. So I would suggest that or another natural one. I don't know, maybe Tom's doesn't have anything bad in it. But if it's got aluminum anything in it, it's bad. Bad, bad. Okay. Now, to cure Alzheimer's. And that's the big one, of course, because that's when you're going to worry about it, is when mom or dad has Alzheimer's or your spouse. So, to restore your memory center, it runs along the side of your head here, like the shape of a woman's tiara. Could you see that? Was I doing that on the right side? Yeah. It's like the shape of a woman's tiara from about here back. And it's wider at the front, gets more narrow, and goes over your ear. And then it gets real thin and stops. If you eat coconut oil every day, a tablespoon or 2, once or twice a day, Mixing it with honey makes it so you can stand to eat it, because by itself it's really nasty. And it needs to be virgin coconut oil. But if you eat that a couple times a day, it'll restore your memory. It restores your memory center. Oh, my nose itches, pardon me. So that is a big thing. Now, that supplement that I spoke of earlier that restored my mother's memory, that is acetyl L-carnitine, and that can help restore your memory if you have dementia. If you got peripheral nerve damage, like peripheral neuropathy, like diabetics have, or just, some people have peripheral neuropathy and they can't figure out what it's from. Peripheral neuropathy can be a symptom of cancer. So if you have peripheral neuropathies and you don't have high blood glucose, you better go to a neurologist, and they'll order a workup on you and see if it's something else like cancer. It's that's the way some people find out they have cancer. But anyway, this will repair nerves anywhere, and it penetrates the central nervous system, and that's why it works for Alzheimer's, because it gets into your brain. Not many things penetrate what's called the blood-brain barrier. It keeps bad stuff out. Okay, fasting once again. If you've got no good brain cells, building new ones is the best thing, one of the best things you can do. It's not hard. You fast for 24 hours, and from 18 to 24, which is 6 hours, you'll be building new brain cells and destroying old, worn-out cells in your body. And once again, reading can help you build new brain cells too. So if I know anything else about getting rid of Alzheimer's, I've forgotten it. But all of that there that I've just talked about will most likely, I can't say for sure, nothing's ever for sure in medicine, but most people are going to get some positive results for those things. So happy anti-Alzheimering, and those who want to see more videos, I'll be making more, and I'll see you later on. Thank you, and goodbye. And remember, everything I do is free because I'm a pharmacist, and we've always given free medical information. So that's a part of my soul. I would never charge people for these things that I tell them. So anyway, good luck with Alzheimer's, and goodbye.